So Skye Blue, who had pink hair at the time by the way, was excommunicated from church for setting a little boy on fire. I should note, she was a little girl at the same time as well. They were all wearing flammable robes, they were all handed little candles, and for one reason, and one reason only, Skye Blue not liking this little boy, she set him on fire and laughed while her horrified mother watched on. That's what RJ City was referencing during the 0 Hour Buy-In show last night, which by the way, the 0 Hour Buy-In show clocked in at 1 hour 28 minutes and 40 seconds. 0 hour my arse. That sounds painful. And at the end of what was the match of the night, at that point in the night, because it was the only match that had happened to that point of the show, Ortiz, he went back to Eddie Kingston after murdering Sonjay Dutt by putting some wood right in his face. This is a massive WTF moment, of course, because at All In, a big old dirty pay-per-view event, Eddie Kingston and Ortiz were on opposite sides of a massive brawl, some of which happened backstage. But they had a chat on the Friday night before Full Gear 2023, they settled their differences like adults and they went and had a lovely moment on the pay-per-view together. If only more of this kind of stuff could happen in AEW. You can't fee me, said a gum shield wearing Swissman who did his best John Cena impersonation live on last night's pay-per-view. But we can't see him. There's a picture right there. So that impersonation, it was crap. Adam Cole Bebe is here on crutches, which means that surely AEW won't use Adam Cole as a crutch on which to prop up this pay-per-view. Oh wait, they bloody did. But hey, it was still a shock to the system to see him there, so it's WTF all the same. More on him later, of course. More on him a little bit later. Moron. This entire situation is moronic, Tony Khan. Now, was it just me, or was anybody else thinking the injury angle MJF went through at the start of the night would not have been an issue whatsoever? Because as we all know, every single AEW pay-per-view is 27 bastard hours long, so you would literally have enough time to saw off his leg and then sprout a new one and still make it back for his main event match against boring old bloody Jay White. Life, as we all know, is about perspective. On one hand, we have the Father of the Year, who no doubt adopted several orphans, paid them buckets of money to live out their dreams and perform on the stage in front of their world. But on the other hand, we have a man who stole some kids off a street corner and bullied them into singing his own theme song on a pay-per-view for no money whatsoever. If Kenny Omega was the belt collector in AEW, it's clear for all to see now that Christian Cage is the child collector in AEW, but not in a weird way, hopefully. Bollocks to calling Justin Roberts the Dapper Yapper. From now on, we have to call him the stuttering slime ball. He uses way too much gel in his hair, doesn't he? But we're calling him stuttering because he introduced the Rated R Superstar as the Rated R Superstar. And it's just my opinion, but I reckon if Superstar isn't broken, don't try and bloody fix it. It's crazy to think that Ric Flair's actually younger than the dinosaur, isn't it? Then we learn that Darby Allin is catching a red-eye flight after Full Gear 2023 to go and climb Mount Everest. Oh yeah? This is how it feels to fall down Everest, you little prick. Earlier in the match, Copeland was giving Darby Allin the clap. Normally, that's something you say about Ric Flair. Nigel McGuinness is on fire. You've got him saying words about Ric Flair with a gonorrhea reference thrown in for good measure. This is my professional wrestling. On the subject of gonorrhea and Ric Flair doing that to other human beings, thank the Lord that is Christian Cage, the child collector of AEW. It still doesn't sound any less weird when I say it. For doing that to Ric Flair, hopefully that yam bag is broken that Ric Flair can't give the gonorrhea to anybody else, so thank you, Christian. And more on Ric Flair, how can this man here, this is the same man who was doing that at Full Gear 2023, how can this man do that without any shame whatsoever? Sit down, you silly old goat. And then I think Darby Allin actually thought he was up the top of Mount Everest when no TV cameras or watching TV audiences could hear him, because after that match last night, he said the following: going, this is Sting's effing last time wrestling in the state of California. Let's make some effing noise. Except he wasn't saying effing, he was saying f. So let's try and unpack this one step by step. It was ruled that MJF, an injured man, could not defend his AEW World title. So then instead, Tony Khan ruled that another injured man, called Adam Cole, could defend it instead of the initial injured man. Both men are injured. It just makes zero sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I get that MJF was like, Adam, don't let them take the title, it's all on you, buddy. But they're both injured. They're both the same! And the fact that Adam Cole had to go to Tony Khan to confirm this tells us there was a period of the show last night where Tony Khan, for his main event last night, was all on board with just handing Jay White the title. Adam Cole coming out saying, I'm doing this. There was a brief period of time before that where Tony Khan was just going to go, there you go, Jay White, go and sink my battleship. And then we have the fact that Toni Storm loaded her arse with a metal tray to win a match. Talk about buns of steel. Am I right? Right, the Continental Classic champion is going to be a thing when somebody wins this brand new tournament in AEW. But also, last night Eddie Kingston revealed that his Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship will also be on the line when he's in the matches, meaning we'll get some sort of Triple Crown champion with 3 different belts. The belts are just set there, walking out of this tournament when it's all said and done. Which means that Eddie Kingston could lose both of his championships to somebody who doesn't go on and win what is, remember, a round robin tournament. Everybody plays each other, top of the table, that's who goes on to the final. That's what that means. And why has this been made more complicated than it ever had to be? Isn't this just telling us that Eddie Kingston is going to win all of his matches without overtly telling us that Eddie Kingston is going to win all of his matches before getting to the final? Is it just me? I don't know. Why could this tournament not have just been somebody winning the thing and getting a shot for the title at Revolution in February or March, whenever that show goes down? Now, some things happened in that ladder match last night at Full Gear, but none were more WTF worthy than that Ganzo bomb through a ladder onto the floor by Brody King. My thoughts and prayers are with Dralistico's family at this testing time. I don't know about you, but I'd literally rather have the clap injected into my eyes than take one of those maneuvers. And congratulations to the new SQT champion, Julia Hart. Well done, Julia. Get in there. I bloody hate it when champions hold the titles upside down. You've got one job. And then we saw a fire Tony Schiavone right next to Tony Schiavone from the hard cam side of the arena. And I could not believe my eyes. Let's reorganize this thing so it says what it actually should say. You should never be firing big dick Tony Schiavone. How dare you? And then we get to Will Ospreay being the big blockbuster new signing in AEW, and just spare a thought, right, for the normal people who don't like wrestling as much as you and I. Imagine seeing a man who's had no less than 11 televised AEW matches so far joining AEW as a new signee. They must be so confused, but it's their fault for being uncool virgins who don't like the great sport of professional wrestling. Damn them all to hell! Why did I mention them? I don't know. But in my opinion, AEW, with Will Ospreay being 30 years of age, they're going to get the best years of his career, you would think, over the next 4, 5, 6 years, however long he's going to be there for. But also, which is the WTF moment portion of this thing I'm talking about here, a Tony Khan announcement actually lived up to its expectation. This is the first time this has happened, maybe ever. Tony's literally the boy who cried wolf, so you need to pick up every dog you can and head for that bastard border. The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh. Imagine if Swerve Strickland actually did something to Adam Hangman Page's child, right? Because what he did was he broke into his house. That's pretty bad. But he went into the kid's bedroom and he went peekaboo, and then he gave Hangman Page's child a t-shirt, a present, a nice thing. If he actually harmed the kid, then Adam Hangman Page, no doubt about it, he would have whapped down Swerve Strickland's trousers and extracted every single bodily fluid he could possibly get his hands on. And I'm saying that because Hangman Page literally drunk the blood of Swerve Strickland last night at Full Gear. Swerve's out there getting staplers put into his body. He's busted open. Hangman, like he's in a dentist chair at a bastard bar, sits down, opens his gob, and the blood pisses into his mouth, and Hangman likes it, the sick freak. Now, I must say it this time, I just hope that Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland went together for Swerve to get several blood tests before this match happened, because drinking that, it's a little bit risky, isn't it? Now, I don't want to be negative about this blood stuff. In fact, I think I'll be a positive guy about this blood stuff, but it is a little bit disgusting and a little bit potentially reckless, isn't it, Hangman Page? But then again, maybe a man breaking into your house, giving your child a little scare, but ultimately giving him a present, maybe the story warranted it. Of course, I'm taking the piss. This is WTF Moments. The story fit, the spot, it was amazingly disgusting. Yeah, you tell them, they all suck, don't they? Oh, where the hell am I? Oh my God! That better not be real glass, or never mind a river. I will flood the entirety of North America with my tears. And then we have the small matter of CM Punk chants happening during an elite match in the Young Bucks' home state. And I saw this picture on the X.com machine, and I thought it was mildly humorous. See, that's where we find ourselves now. Now, I'm well aware that what happened after the Young Bucks match last night is all kayfabe, and it's all part of the story of the Young Bucks maybe joining Don Callis' family to get back at Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. But they always say, don't they, the best professional wrestlers is a wrestler's own personality or a bit of how their bodily makeup is. It's turned up to 11, and that's why they're so natural in front of the camera. I bloody told you they were mother-clucking children. And then we get to the moment of the night where we have half the staff saying, whoa, MJF, you stop there, you can't wrestle, you're hurt, you can't do the match, get back home and have a nice cup of tea. But Adam Cole, who we all know is post-surgery, although I think it might be a work now because of this devil shtick hanging over AEW and the fact we've never seen Adam Cole, his knee and his face in the same picture when the surgery's been talked about on social media. Hopefully that take ages like a lovely old man and not milk. I don't know why I went old man. I don't fancy old men. But Adam Cole post-surgery. Adam Cole more visibly hurt than MJF for sure. MJF hobbling along. He's largely fine. Adam Cole, crutches, big thing on his ankle. He can't do anything. Adam Cole, you go down to the ring, pal, no issues there. How does that make any sense? Is it just me, or does that make as much sense as this bloody thing here? What on earth is this all about? What are you? I don't even know you. Bosh! Or either surely both injured men are allowed to go down to the ring, or MJF is allowed and Adam Cole is not allowed. Not the other way around. Am I the only one seeing this, or do I not have a leg to stand on like Adam Bastard Cole doesn't? And now I've made some notes here because I've worked out that Adam Cole is definitely the devil, right? So try this one on for size. He had a friend accept a challenge from Samoa Joe, knowing that friend will have to face Samoa Joe and probably get battered by Samoa Joe. He told a friend with one leg to do a dive over the top rope. That's a caring pal, isn't it? Oh no, wait, no, it's not. He then teased throwing in the towel with his friend looking on. The mental turmoil he put his friend through there. Nobody does that, the sick bastard. He then basically teed up Jay White to twat MJF upside the head with the belt last night. Why did he do that? He took so long. He just basically gave the title to Jay White. What a dick. And then the pièce de résistance of all this, he had a friend with one leg come over to him to get a Dynamite Diamond ring to help him in the match. Why couldn't he have just gone woohoo and thrown it to him? He's an arsehole. He's the devil, let me tell you. And obviously the devil didn't turn up on a night where Adam Cole was at ringside. The same guy can't be in two places at once, can he? It all makes sense. What's the opposite of Matthews? I am the table. That is not the chair. Despite that table being made of actual paper, which is a WTF moment all by itself, MJF still went up to the top rope and then hit an elbow drop right on the floor with no cushion whatsoever. The mad prick. And then the injured idiot who definitely would not have done this back in like 2019 or whatever, when he cared about things making sense in professional wrestling, then did a cutter over the top rope to the floor when he had one leg and no cushion to land on. He's a mad, senseless prick. And that cutter there was the point in the night where I made my mind up and I said to myself, that injury angle, it was completely unnecessary and it just killed off Jay White as a legitimate threat in the main event scene. He literally couldn't beat what was supposed to be a one-legged man who could use two legs when he wanted to do something big and impressive. It was pointless. And of course, we've got to end on a WTF moment that was the devil not appearing at the end of the show. There was so much celebration, you're thinking, oh, it's going to happen now, but it didn't. Oh, it's going to happen now, but it didn't. But also, we've got to remind ourselves the best trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people he didn't exist. So I'm asking the question, is he even real? Is he even a thing? Or is he just Adam Cole, who can't be in two places at once? And I also just want to point out at this time on the pictures video for last night's pay-per-view, I was saying the devil will be revealed at the World's End show, because when he attacks MJF, it will literally be the end of the world, and it will also be Adam Cole Bebe.